Chiefs, Cowboys this weekend. And I've got to make a pick on Wednesday's get up, and I've got to make a pick on Wednesday's first take. And I'm leaning towards Dallas. I really am. Destiny, better football, whatever you want to call it, there is something happening with these Cowboys. Now, you might listen to this podcast on Friday morning. And by then, the Chiefs could have beaten the Cowboys 42-16, and the Chiefs could have beaten the Cowboys 31-0. And then you come on and you listen to this, and you can just say, well, I'm going to fast forward through the rest of Schrager's takes. But I will say this as we record this on a Tuesday morning, 2 days in advance of what might be the biggest regular season game in Dak Prescott's career. I like the Cowboys. I like what they have going on. And I like the fact that they can score points in an instant and have this guy, number 3, George Pickens, who is playing like an all-pro wide receiver. Cowboys Chiefs, 4:30 CBS. The early game is an equally massive one. Packers at Lions, 1:00 start, which, by the way, I'm going to bring up with our guest. I don't love a 1:00 start on Thanksgiving. No, don't be cute, NFL. That is a tradition that it starts at noon. It starts at noon every other year, but nope, the NFL got cute with us. It wasn't enough that we need to have, so many changes with the schedule with Friday night games and Friday day games. No, they had to move back our Thanksgiving. Trust me, everyone in America is on the couch with their family from 9 a.m. on waiting for that kickoff. You push it back another hour, you're messing with some folks here. That said, I'll accept it, and we will enjoy it because it is a great game. Packers Lions. And then the nightcap is Joe Burrow versus Lamar Jackson in Burrow's return, with everybody thinking that the Ravens are about to go on this tear through the AFC. We shall see. One quick note about that Chiefs Colts game that I think and now is in hindsight, but needs to be really focused on, because if they had lost, the Chiefs would be coming in 5-6 right now, heading into Dallas with a brutal schedule over the second half of the season, including a Thanksgiving Day game and a Christmas Day game. They were down 20-9 in this ball game, and Kareem Hunt fumbles the ball. And if you watch on the broadcast copy, Travis Kelce is going over to Kareem Hunt, and he's like, "No, dude, you can't be down in your feelings. You can't be upset. We gotta be up." And Kareem Hunt pushes Kelce away, but then Kelce comes back to Hunt, bangs him on his chest, and is like, "We need you. We need you." Guess what? They did. What we didn't see in the broadcast copy, but has been widely reported, and my sources in Kansas City telling me this, during that timeout, 20-9, they're down, looking at the barrel of a gun of a 5-6 start to this season, with a brutal stretch coming up and another loss at home, which would be head scratching. Chris Jones, who has not been the Chris Jones of old this season, admittedly, turns to the crowd and gets the entire crowd going by pumping them up, by cheering, saying, "Come on, we need you. We need you." They proceed to get 3 straight 3-and-outs. They proceed to stuff Jonathan Taylor from the rest of the day. They get that 3rd-and-1 stop. They get the 4th-and-1 stop. The way the Chiefs defense responded was enormous. The Chiefs ran 91 offensive plays on Sunday, and they found a way to keep their season alive. And what I loved about it was that when everyone else might have been off the train and everyone else was down at their lowest moment, maybe as a dynasty, their lowest moment, down 20-9 at home to the Colts in the second half, Kelce and Chris Jones, 2 of the biggest leaders, were the ones to not only support their teammates, but to lift the crowd up. That stuff matters. Chiefs stay alive. They're 6-5, and they're in this thing. What I will say is this, though, and this is an interesting one, because they just traded for Sauce Gardner, and we all made such a lovely production out of it. Me as well, saying that this was such a win because now you're going all in. I have some fears about the Indianapolis Colts at the moment. You take a look at what the Indianapolis Colts schedule remains, and it is not easy. This schedule, and let me bring it up here, and I apologize if you're like, why is Schrager just dragging on here? Let's go here. Colts schedule, that's what we call Google. All right. Texans at Colts Sunday. Did you see that Texans defense on Thursday night? Did you see what that Texans defense did to Josh Allen? 8 sacks, You thought Daniel Jones had happy feet facing Chris Jones and George Karlaftis. Daniil Hunter, Will Anderson, that's Sunday. All right. Fast forward to the next week. Colts at Jaguars. Jaguars are a playoff team right now, and they're frisky. And if you know anything about this rivalry, for whatever reason, the Jaguars have owned the Colts over the last 5 years. All right. Colts at Seahawks on December 14th in Seattle. Colts at Seahawks. All right. That's not a W. That's not something I put in pen. 49ers at Colts the following week. All right, that's a Monday night football game. You'd like to think Colts are at home. They could take care of the Niners, who look, Niners are a playoff team, folks. Niners just took care of business on a Carolina team that beat the Packers in Lambeau. Niners are real. Then it's Jaguars at Colts. And then we end with Colts at Texans on January 4th with that TBD, because we're not sure if that's being moved to a Saturday, if that's a Sunday night game, whatever it is. I don't see an easy win in that group. Again, they face the Texans, they face the Jaguars, they face the Seahawks, they face the 49ers, they face the Jaguars again, they face the Texans again. Good luck. Good luck, Colts. They went all in. I would love nothing more than Daniel Jones to shut up the haters and for this team to get over the hump. Jonathan Taylor has maybe been our best guest as a podcast. He was so awesome. You want to root for these guys, and they're doing it. But some concerning losses against Pittsburgh and against Kansas City has you wondering if this team is going to be playing football in January.